Hello, and you are listening to FPcast, the official podcast Fruitless Pursuits, where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week, we're talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Falcons!
Camelot. I so thought you were going to say Camelot.
No, I was going to leave that gag for later in the episode, but sure, let's upload, let's front heavy. What the fuck am I trying to say? Front heavy.
Front heavy.
Front heavy, yeah.
I like front heavy.
Okay.
A few of my favourite people are a little front heavy. Camelot. We just watched the trailer in preparation for our trailer segment for Jackie, starring Natalie Portman.
This is sadly not a biopic about Jackie Chan, which I was hoping it was, but no. Jackie Onassis.
Jackie Onassis. And she talks a lot about Camelot.
Camelot. Like every 5 seconds, oh, there was Camelot.
There's Camelot.
There'll never be a Camelot.
There was a Camelot. There once was a Camelot.
Yeah.
I remember when I first watched Under the Skin, Camelot.
Aww.
Not really. Kidding. It's a joke. It's not a sexy movie. It's not.
Okay.
That's why you just watch the GIFs. The girl with all the GIFs. Yes.
What a start.
We don't start strong.
We don't finish strong.
But you wait.
The quality in the middle is
something will happen like about half an hour in where we'll go, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good episode.
Okay. Yeah, which is pretty similar to the movie that we watched today, to be fair.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what a segue. Look at you up on your two wheels.
Yeah, again, something that's coming much later in the episode, so not worth mentioning it quite yet, maybe.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit of news. We're going to talk some trailers, of course. Yeah. We're going to review Miss Penny Slot's Home for Erectile Dysfunction.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about TV because we had Luke Cage happened. Mm-hmm. We watched all of that, and Westworld as well. One of those is a real treat. So
only one of them, though.
No, I like them both, but I like one better. Although, ask me, 13 episodes into the one I liked better and see if I still feel the same way. So yeah, look, what a jam-packed show.
Less jam-packed than it's been in the past, but
sure. It's packed with jam.
I reckon we'll
talk about some stuff in there. Yeah. Pad up the jam. Pad it up when you're feeling funky. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't heard that song for a long time.
No, well,
because it's an old person song.
Pump up their jams nearly as much.
That's true.
Anymore. Everyone's got those self-pumping jams.
They do. I was always so jealous of the kids that had self-pumping jams.
Oh, yeah. Reebok pumps. Mm-hmm. With I really wanted those, but I mean... My God, they were like $100. Who could afford that?
Insane.
Isn't that crazy? I could buy a pair every week if I wanted now.
Yeah. I got a pair of Converse sneakers, and not even like the cool Converse sneakers now, like this pair of like Converse basketball sneakers when I was about 11, and I thought I was the coolest motherfucker out there because I had Converse basketball sneakers full.
Yeah.
And it was just like, now it's just like, you wear shoes for a couple of years and then throw them out and buy whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I had some Reeboks once, which I thought were really impressive, but the shoe I used to always get bought, and I don't know why, but it was the Adidas Roam.
What do they look like?
They're white low shoe with 3 blue stripes on either side.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, nothing special about them, but I had multiple pairs of those bloody things. I'm just going to Google. This is not relevant to anything we're talking about, but like just talking
People
about it.
People wear shoes. This is relevant to everybody.
That's true. Everybody. Well, I don't want to trigger anyone by saying everybody has feet, because perhaps not everybody does. Look, there it is, the classic Adidas Roam.
I had shoes like that. I can't remember the name of the model of them. They were a little bit more like those ones through high school. But yeah, I had heaps of English friends and played at a soccer club, so everyone was super chavvy Adidas freaks.
There you
What
go.
an interesting little segue.
I think it's very relatable, though. Someone out there is going, oh, the Adidas Rome. I haven't thought about that for donkey's years. Donkey's ears. Donkey's rears.
Every bit of the donkey.
Donkey's beers. That's for afterwards, after you've named all their body parts. They go for beer. There we go. So, okay, look, so much stuff. Where do we begin? New York Comic Con's happening as well this weekend, so little bits and pieces floating out of that. Probably more by the time we record this, but
the only real coverage that I'm hearing out of it is I'm on a lot of like pop vinyl collecting pages and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just people crying because they can't get the ones that they want.
Well, a lot of the exclusives have turned up at our EB and Zing, because I got the Rogue One exclusive pop vinyl, which is Biston, who's a crazy-looking alien with big eyebrows.
Yeah,
and,
there was one, there's like an Indiana Jones with a car or something
I heard
that people aren't going to be able to get, and
that was
there's
crazy.
like some other one that is unlikely to be released outside of the actual convention. But yeah, a bunch of them have been released. It's just like all the exclusives, like for the most part, I don't like most of them. Like, if I had to, I'd maybe get the Rainbow Batman one, which is like
all the colours of Batman.
All the Batman colours in one, and I'm like, oh, I'd maybe get that, but
He's got a pot of gold at the end of it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Okay, so I'm just looking at this thing, because I do have a habit of buying stuff and then not looking at it. So this is Biston. The alien who's got a look on his face like he's going to go, Biston! Rounds with Fiston! Pleased to meet you! Yeah. But look at his zip there. He's got his panel on his crotch.
Oh, that's a pissin' zip.
Which has a pissin' zip.
That's like, when you're in the middle of battle, you cannot waste time taking your pants off. If you have to go, you have to go.
That's quite interesting, because you don't often see that on Star Wars aliens, like those sort of functions built into their costumes. But Biston, and bear in mind, we've seen Biston very briefly, not in a trailer, but in that behind-the-scenes footage. And he's very much an animatronic alien. So, yeah, they've put a big old pissin' zip on there, which I think's really great. I think if he has to take a shit, he's out of luck.
Well, we don't know. He's got a cape on, so you can't see if he's got a poopin' zip.
Well, that reminds me of... have I told this before about there's like at work, there's a Marvel character encyclopedia. It's like one of those DK books where everything's labelled.
Yeah.
And on the back, it's got a picture of Kang the Conqueror, who hasn't appeared yet in a Marvel movie, but he's a kind of, wearing a jumpsuit, and he's kind of a robotic sort of face, humanoid face. And, cosmic character, kind of like, what's his face from Guardians? Ronan the Accuser, that sort of guy.
Okay, yeah.
And it's got like a waste disposal system function thing on his belt or something like that.
Okay.
And I think, why not just call this book How Can Craps? Because, there you go, instant bestseller. Because I've often wondered.
I'd buy it.
I'm like, how does this guy happen? Like, what?
If he's a robot guy, does he have to poop?
Yeah, maybe. Well, no, I think, he obviously must. Maybe, like, I don't know if he's a robot.
Maybe he has, like, robot waste. Maybe it's not like poop. It might
Maybe
just
he's
be
not
like excess oil.
A robot. He's just got that really sort of blocky Jack Kirby head.
Okay, all right.
Sort of like Thanos or Darkseid or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, what about Thanos? For all we know, people go, he sits around all day. Maybe he only talks when he's taking a crap.
Oh, so he's sitting on his throne.
Yeah.
So it's not like, a kingly throne.
It's
his throne.
Bulky.
Throne.
We don't know if he's got a little flat back there or not. So he's just dropping big ones.
He's just, he just doesn't wear pants. He just wears like leg parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like chaps.
Yeah.
Some people play games on their phone.
Yeah.
He gets his business done while he's getting his business done. Yeah. Hey, come up here and talk to me about this Avengers situation while I had a crazy space curry last night. So there you go. What characters? How did other characters shit? Let us know on the Facebook pages. What about Pac-Man?
Oh, he shits ghosts, yeah?
He's eating all those pellets, but he's not leaving pellets behind him. That's what I find strange.
Maybe that's like at the end of the level. Like there's that little kind of moment where they change over. Maybe that's where he poops. He's got his modesty.
He just purges.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see, doesn't want Ms. Pac-Man to see him poop.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
So he just has to take it when he can.
That's right. Those two, God. Imagine that sex tape.
They're just swapping the bow around. Who's who?
They're just interlocking. They're just like scissoring their giant yellow mouths, going waka 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 waka.
Exchanging pellets.
Yeah. Crikey. They're having a little ghost baby. So we saw the name's been confirmed for the next Wolverine movie, supposedly the final Wolverine movie. It's called Logan.
Yes.
That's,
that's his name.
That's his name.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That's sort of like, that's the classy tactic, like Rocky Balboa or like John Rambo or, Creed. Yeah, that sort of titling.
It's lucky that he's got like a kind of cool name.
Logan. Logan's not that cool.
Oh, it's better than if his name was like Jimmy.
Jimmy.
It's called the movie Jimmy.
You gonna see the new Wolverine movie? It's called Steve. Oh, yeah.
Derek.
Steve. Derek. And this is Old Man Wolverine.
Yep.
So this is
Old Man Logan. Yeah.
Old Man Logan. This is him getting on. It's the final Wolverine movie, supposedly. I thought it was interesting that the poster has his, big, burly, fucked up hand with the claws popping out, but he's holding a younger hand, a smaller hand, a little babby hand. He's holding his hand, and that causes a lot of speculation. Well, who's this? Whose hand is he holding? And obviously, a child's hand, it looks like. But then you couldn't pop your knives in while holding a child's hand?
Well, maybe it's a moment where the child is trying to calm him.
Maybe. I don't know. And then I thought maybe it's Deadpool's little baby hand. And, that's what's going to happen. Because little Deadpool, he's probably cutting off his hand all the time. Because, one thing I learned about Deadpool watching...
He's so wacky.
Oh, he likes to jerk it too.
Well, yeah.
Oh, God damn, he loves to jerk it. Which is why he's relatable to everybody. Because everybody's just like thinking about... I imagine in America, it's a difficult sort of thing to imagine because it is quite different to our culture. But you imagine that this is a land where people are pent up, they're stressed, they live faster than... We're very naive. Remember that article about the naive Margot Robbie?
Oh, yes. We
Australia.
Are people from a before times.
A bygone era.
Yeah.
We're living in the past. Whereas America, they're just thinking all the time they want to either...
it's like Tomorrowland.
They want to shoot a gun or they want to jerk it. And the two things are very, very similar. And that's why God Almighty, our Father in heaven, gave us two hands. So you grip on one of each.
Yep.
And Deadpool is just, for me, is the ultimate character because he can do both. He's jerking it and he's shooting people in the face. He shot like 3 people in the face with one bullet.
He did, yeah.
So, hello, Superman. I think there's a new American hero. Yeah. Yeah, that's why BVS, whatever that stupid shit was, didn't do well. Because, did you ever see him, he got in the bath with Lois Lane. Great time to start jerking it.
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't know,
it didn't happen.
If Superman jerks it, if he did it in the bath, would he create some sort of water force thing that then would have killed Lois?
Like a tsunami.
Yeah, like a little bath tsunami.
Like a localized tsunami in there.
Yeah.
And then it spills.
Or like a whirlpool or something, and it just sucks her in.
Spills out. It kills a Wayne Industries intern who's out getting coffee, and Batman's like, I really wanted that coffee. I'm going to come and get him. What about the Flash? Do you reckon the Flash sometimes just jerks it so quick that we don't even realize? You just have to
maybe
watch his facial expressions in the scene when there's ladies around. Not that Deadpool likes ladies, because he'll jerk it to a unicorn. That's how wacky this guy is. What a zany ball, that guy. So yeah, it could be his hand. Other speculation. I wonder if it's this proto X-21 character. the female Wolverine that's sort of been teased with this idea of X-23. What did I call?
X-21.
21.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a lot older than you guys. I remember X-21. X-23 is probably more...
Okay, like the reboot version?
Yeah,
okay.
it's sort of 2 down the road. That one's good as well. All right, look, I'll accept it. Let's just have X-23 then. Mm-hmm. X-21...
So, I mean, it's just like,
not bad.
X-23 and, Wolverine is just a really displaying the gap between, men and women in their, things that they're given, because he's got 3 claws.
Yeah, she has.
She only has 2.
She gets paid 66%.
Exactly.
When they experiment on her. Oh, but come on. Feminist.
She's not doing the same
bullshit.
fighting as he is.
Well, she's got smaller hands. I mean, come on. You want to put 3 things in there? No way.
3 claws just wouldn't make her as sexy too. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about 2 claws for a woman is she can hold them up to her face and lick her tongue seductively in between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas Wolverine, he's not going to do that.
Yeah. How silly of me to not even think of that.
Well, that's why men are paid 33% more to think for you.
Cool.
So there's that, and there was also a picture of Patrick Stewart as Professor X. I believe that stands for Professor Excellent. And he's looking very old. He looks almost as old as... they look like those Frank Miller pictures. Do you remember those Frank Miller pictures? 50-year-old Frank Miller, who's all like... he's not looking great. But then I think he's sick, so I shouldn't say that. Though he never came out and said he was sick, but he's sick. Poor bugger. But anyway, yeah. So Patrick Stewart's there, and the article I read suggested that they were still dealing with this idea of Mr. Sinister and the Essex Corporation, which was set up at the end of the last film. And that would lead towards a female young X-23 is a possibility there. So I reckon maybe, this is... Oh, what better way? Because if you do a last Hugh Jackman Wolverine movie and you don't have the female Wolverine in, and then you go, oh, now the next one is about a female Wolverine, my God, will that ruffle some fedoras.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, people will be like, what? This is feminism out of control. But
what next? A female Professor X?
So what you need is basically, like, Wolverine on the screen with her.
Endorsing her specifically.
Coaxing her. And preferably in 3D so he can extend a hand to the audience. So he's got her in one hand. It's like, it's okay. It's like, I remember when... we've got 2 cats, and we got Driver, and then we got Ridley. And at first, they're like, I don't know about you, you're a stranger, this is kind of weird, and you have to sit between them and go, hey, come on, it's okay. And I imagine at least an hour of the movie will be that, just getting the male audience adjusting to the fact that, there might be a girl with claws and a healing factor. Which doesn't sound very realistic to me. Not the claws and the girl part, but let's see what they can do. I mean, they fucked up Ghostbusters. They fucked up Batman vs Superman. Suicide Squad was pretty good. But yeah, so let's see what happens. Come on, Hollywood, get off your duffs and do something right for a change. Because when I add up all the money I've spent on these disappointing films, I could have bought one Adidas Rome.
Just the one?
Yeah.
Because they're all in vintage shops now, and they charge you $500 for vintage sneakers.
It'd be about $100. But yeah, really disappointing. Now, I'd like to go into this little segment. I think there's a couple of bits of news that dropped, which I think on the surface level, nerd sites go, oh, look at this stuff. Here's some stuff, and we go, oh yeah, okay, promotion. But when you look just even a tiny bit deeper, you realise these are studios that are desperate. This is a marketing machine which is pretending not to be transparent, but is so transparent. And the first thing I'm talking about is the teaser trailer we saw for the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Dead Men Tell No Tales? Is that something like that?
Or is it Depp Men Tell No Tales?
I think they would very much prefer Depp Man to not be telling any tales at any point.
So this is the 5th movie in the beloved franchise. And we know Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were here in Australia filming this thing.
Bought their dogs.
Brought their dogs. Shouldn't have done that. There was all that kerfuffle. And then Amber Heard and Johnny Depp had a lot of kerfuffle. And he basically, you know, I said on a recent podcast, like, or maybe I just said it to you in private, but where is the trailer for this thing? Why are they're not confident about this thing? So finally, like, this movie comes out, and the thing about those other trailers for the other movies, ever since the first Pirates, were all, Jack Sparrow!
What a guy!
What a zany ball. Like, yeah, he was like a proto-Deadpool, but in pirate form. Was it because he was constantly just like, the trailers would be, wacky one-liner, here's some slapstick, and then cutaway shots to people going, oh, Jack Sparrow, my goodness. And then someone would go, get Jack Sparrow! And Jack Sparrow would go, oh, I'm running around! and you know, and the world had a love affair with Jack Sparrow. But do we still?
No.
Because he allegedly did some things.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, even the character himself, I mean, really, when I saw On Stranger Tides, which is a terrible, terrible movie, it was really down to Jack, because they just used him so much in that movie in just the most obnoxious ways that it just made that character so unbearable.
Stale.
Very, very stale.
And forced. That sort of idea that, oh, Jack can just do anything and the audience love Jack so much, we'll just go, oh, yeah, that's fantastic. And we didn't. We wanted him to work for it. So, you know, so you got two things. You've got his personal life, you know, and all the allegations and whatever, and we don't know how that is. It's funny, like, the article I read mentioned, and he's not very popular with his personal life at the moment, and someone in the talkback straight away is like, you being a feminist, do you believe that lying whore Amber Heard?
Ooh.
And it's like, oh,
yikes.
Yeah. Thanks for showing us how to step up and be a man.
Yeah.
And also, we're just sick of Johnny Depp. And anyone will tell you, if you saw that fucking Alice in Wonderland sequel, Mad Hatter, just even looking at him makes you feel a little bit queasy. Like, not enjoyable. That's a wretched character. Not enjoyable to watch. So you think, how are they going to approach this? And the great thing is, and it shows that the studio is just as concerned about these things as we clearly are, because we all have an equal stake writing on it. This trailer has no Jack Sparrow.
Which is fantastic.
It is crazy.
You sort of assume that he would turn up maybe a little bit at the end. Like, he'd, you know, step out of the shadows, or there'd be, like, some suggestion of Captain Jack. There is daylight, and then there is, like, this trailer. There is no even hinting at Jack Sparrow.
There's the wanted poster.
Oh, well, yeah. Like,
of Jack Sparrow. Like,
he's going to turn up at some point,
but no Johnny Depp. It's a drawing of Jack Sparrow. Because of that, it's a pretty good little teaser trailer. It's quite great because it focuses on the villain, which is another ghost pirate in a long line of ghost pirates.
Which is fine.
But played by
Javier Bardem.
And it's a cool design.
Yeah, it is.
He's awesome. He's obviously just paying his rent.
Yeah, and he's their threatening Thwaitie.
Oh, little bloody Thwaitie. If people don't know, can you just give us the short version of Thwaitie?
Oh, Brenton Thwaite.
Brenton.
Is it Thwaite or Thwaites?
I think it's Thwaites.
Yeah.
Time Thwaites for no man.
Yeah, so what was he in? He was Gods of Egypt. And wasn't he in, like, was that Son of a Gun that he was in as well?
Yeah, the Australian one.
Yeah.
He's an Aussie.
He is an Aussie, yeah. And somehow has fallen his way into Hollywood and keeps getting jobs.
It looks like they're using him as a cheap Orlando Bloom.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have
Which
to
is
have
ironic.
They have to have the cheap, good-looking young guy. They did in Stranger Tides. They had Sam Claflin, who was not really anyone at that point. He then went on to do obviously the Hunger Games and stuff like that. And they're just like, this Thwaitie bloke, he's cheap. We'll just get him before he blows up. He's not going to blow up
because Orlando Bloom is the cheap Orlando Bloom. So Thwaites's like even cheaper than that.
It's like the difference between like black and gold and home brand.
Oh, I'm thinking more Audi.
Audi's not that bad.
Audi's like, I want to go and buy some Twosties and some Tom Tams.
Some Nespresso.
Yeah. Yeah. So, look, Thwaity's a boy. You know, when I think
Thwaity's a
of
boy, and this
great
is a
Australian
man's
actors,
movie, man.
I think of like Wertho,
yeah,
Edjo,
obviously.
Jaiko, Margot. Thwaito? No.
Nah.
Doesn't work.
No.
I mean, that's the test. That's a litmus test. Yeah. You've
Like
got to have your
Edjo.
O levels.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
What about Brento?
Brente! Oh, maybe, but look, he's got to get.
He's not in the league. Like, he's not a little spuddy nugget.
No, he's got to pack some weight on him. He's got to get some grog into him. Mm-hmm. He's got to smoke some Winnie Blues, and he's got to get pool cue smacked around his head a few times, I reckon, before he's going to be even close to some of those bloody true blue
Goliaths of Australian cinema.
fair dinkum Aussie legends that we've got out there. So, I thought that was interesting. There's a studio, and it'd be interesting to see what happens, because I don't doubt that this movie is 95% Jack Sparrow doing all the annoying things we just talked about, but they realise it's annoying, and I think, Disney's had an incredibly successful year. I think one of their most successful movie years ever, but Alice in Wonderland was their big bomb, and this has potential to do the same. So
Yeah, I imagine they probably just... Because he didn't seem to be out here for that long. And even like with Thor and stuff, they seem to shoot over a short period. So maybe he just he finished, but they hadn't actually finished. They just went, okay, Johnny, we're done, bye, and then did a whole bunch of reshoots.
yeah,
Just to cut him out of it.
that would be great, but I think it's going to be a lot of Depp-anigans, which are Johnny Depp shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm still mostly looking forward to it. I like the idea of Pirates of the Caribbean. I do just think that character is just so stale and isn't something that is relevant. Not that he wasn't really that relevant in 2001, but at least he was something different.
Yeah, well then I'm looking forward to Transformers 5.
I didn't even like the last one, so
You didn't like the last Pirates?
no, I didn't.
No, there you go. That's what I'm
But at least
saying.
there was-
Like, how many times do we get burnt before we just...
Yeah, but I enjoyed the trilogy. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy the whole trilogy, but I've got 3 movies that I like out of 4, as opposed to Transformers, where there's like 1 out of 5.
I'm like 1 for 4 with Pirates.
Okay.
I like 1.5 maybe. Because Davy Jones is pretty cool. But the movie just doesn't hold together for me.
Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked that ridiculous, outlandish whirlpool ship battle.
Oh, and the third one. But that movie's fucked. Yeah. And I don't say that often because it's not constructive. But yeah, it was pretty dull. I've only seen it the once though. Okay. And then the other interesting, like, studio desperation thing is this little featurette that's just come out of Justice League filming. Behind the scenes, lots of rock music, and everybody's having a great time.
Man, I'm so pro Justice League, but this was a bit sad.
It's all the cast,
Everybody's having so much fun.
we're doing stuff and being friends and laughing. So, oh, look, I know you all thought Batman vs. Superman was really dour, but look at the fun we're having. Like,
Doing some stunts in front of some green screens.
oh, we're floating around on wires, and it's not even going to be in the film. This is just what we do at lunch. Yeah!
Look, Jason Momoa dropped a thing. How funny.
Batman's smiling. Batman's having a great time. Superman's having a great time. Gal Gadot, there she is in a little Wonder Woman pants, and she's pissed them because she's laughing so much.
Amazing.
And there's big old Jason Momoa, and they're trying to do a serious scene. Oh, because this man comes out of the sea and gives everyone fish. His side just fucking splits, just rips open because he's laughing so much.
Yeah.
Seamstresses rush on and start sewing him back up again.
With fishing wire.
With fishing wire and a fish hook as a needle.
Yeah.
And when I say seamstresses, I mean like old salty sea dogs and swordfish that can talk. Looks like a blast. Looks like they've turned everything around.
Absolutely.
Looks like, that The Martian might have a contender for the best comedy of the year.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because this one, I tell you what.
Barrel of laughs.
Yep. watch it twice because you're going to miss a lot the first time because everyone's going to be laughing so loud. It's like, I'm still laughing at what Batman said 5 lines ago. And, and this Flash guy, well, he's, you think he runs fast. He puns fast. He's just throwing stuff out there. I can't keep up.
Quick on his feet, quick-witted, just quick everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, look out for that. The comedy of the year, Justice League.
And then the other comedy of the year, Jackie. Camelot. Camelot. I've lost that name. Camelot. No, it looks beautiful. And something that really is casting Natalie Portman as, movie star.
Yeah.
Look at the movie star. Just, trying to turn this really sort of classic thing, which is good for her because... when I think of Natalie Portman, the microphone right now is sitting inside a cup, which is her hollowed out amygdala head.
Yes.
So, not much dignity in that, is there? And I mean, that's her playing a queen, and then now she's going to play the Queen of America, basically.
Yeah. Though really, a Jackie Onassis movie, we need that like we need a hole in the head.
Flash isn't the only one that's fast with the jokes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know. Like, I look at this movie and I go, I'm not gagging for a Jackie movie. Like, I'm sure, great, she'll be great. Natalie Portman will be great, but...
Camelot.
I hope she says Camelot like heaps.
I think
wanna
it's
watch
every
it and do
second word.
I want to do a Camelot count.
Camelot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. At least she gets top billing.
Yeah.
That's something.
Because nobody else is anybody.
No, well, the bad guy from Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Is the other guy.
Yeah. See, exactly. They're not anyone. It's like Peter Sarsgaard.
Sarsgaard.
Not Skarsgård, the good-looking one.
Sarsgaard. The not so good-looking one. Yeah. But that, unlike, what was that movie?
Light Before Ocean?
Between Oceans?
Light Between Oceans.
Yeah, so we saw the trailer for Fassbender and...
Alicia Vikander.
And Rachel Weisz. Their new movie while we were just at the cinema. And, a baby washes up in the sea. It got
a little salty sea dog.
Got caught in one of those, 6-pack plastic rings.
Yep.
And they pull it out, and Vikander's like, a free baby! Fuck yeah! All the pleasure of the baby without
giving the birth.
That big old Fassbanger bashing around inside me. So she's stoked. They keep it. Child grows up to be about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They're on the beach all the time. It's a bloody dream. And then Rachel Weisz. She turns up
and
is like,
she's the baby's mama.
I lost a baby in the sea when we were having tinnies and it got caught in the thing and got thrown overboard.
Off, yeah.
Caught a fish and went, I better throw that one back. Threw the baby back by mistake. Maybe the baby was having... They don't tell you how they lost the baby. Like maybe was having a bath. Threw it out with the bath water.
Yeah, exactly. Just went down the stormwater pipe and out you go.
There it goes. Maybe they flushed it and it grew into a big baby in the sewers. Anyway, They've got this baby. It's not their baby. They need to give the baby back. So they do all this and then the credits come up and it's Michael Fassbender, top billing. Academy Award nominee, it says. And then Vikander, Academy Award winner. And then Rachel, also a winner. So why are they second and third billed? Fassbender can't even pop out a baby.
I would be unsurprised if Fassbender had many babies.
All around the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes while he's sleeping, his penis accidentally flops across state lines and...
He and Alicia Vikander at the moment are a thing.
Are they a thing?
Yeah. Oh, he just honestly, every time he's in a movie with a woman, he hooks up with them because he was going out with Lupita Nyong'o after 12 Years a Slave,
right?
And now he's going out with Alicia Vikander. It's just maybe his allure is just too strong and they can't resist him.
She's only a young'un, isn't she?
She is. Yeah.
An Australian.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think there was some. She was in Son of a Gun. As well. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I think maybe she's not actually. I think we had this discussion.
We need
at the
to
time.
find this out, because if she is Australian,
We need to claim
we
it.
can't call her Alicia Vikander. That's bullshit.
Bloody Vico.
Vico. She got to be Vico. So, come on, Alicia. Oh, she's Swedish.
Yeah. See, there was some confusion. Like, you put someone in an Australian movie and we just assumed that they're Australian, because who the fuck else is going to come and do an Australian
That's
film?
true. What was she doing Son of a Gun here in Perth? She crazy? God.
She just wanted to work with Thwaitie.
Thwaitie.
She was just gagging for Thwaitie.
Couldn't wait for Thwaite. Eh? Get a Thwaite on. So, you've been stacking some Thwaite on lately. That's what they said to her. That was the cover story on New Idea that week. I remember it very well. So we watched Miss Pelican's home for
Injured crustaceans.
That's right. And we just saw it. And it's a weird one. I don't know how I feel about it.
I can't remember the last time I walked out of a movie this undecided about whether I liked it or not.
I don't recommend it. Like, I know that clearly. I'm certainly not saying to anyone, go out to the cinema and go and grab this, because I think they'd be disappointed. I don't think it's that sort of movie. I think it's just a kind of a Netflixy sort of movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's one that is definitely requiring a big screen.
No, and I feel like I got to take those recommendations seriously. I think if I'm saying to someone, oh, you should go and see this, then it should be something pretty great. And,
yeah, if you're going to spend your money on it, it's got to be
and this
worth it.
isn't that film at all.
Yeah, so it's
it's more a personal, like, did I like that? Did I not like that? I think one of the hardest things about it is the premise is, and bear in mind this is based on a recent young adult novel.
Yeah, it's a YA book.
It's just gubbins.
It really is. It really, really is. There's a whole bunch of things that I was like, but that doesn't make sense. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm not meant to really be thinking about this too hard.
But the problem is that gubbins is at the forefront of the movie all the time, far more than character development, for example. It's all about the machinations of the situation. And as far as I can tell, because, okay, it's easy to draw an X-Men comparison on the surface, because you go, Miss Peregrine's home for peculiar children. And really, it's probably the finest peculiar children home since Michael Jackson's Neverland. And Professor X had a home for a school.
Yes.
For gifted youngsters. Same thing. They switched it around with a thesaurus.
Yeah.
Refined and replaced.
Oh, look, they made him a woman.
And they made him a woman.
Feminism.
That's what I was
mad.
struggling with. That's your setup. But the X-Men's really kind of simple in a way. These are mutants. They were born this way.
Yeah. And it's an allegory for other things, obviously.
Yeah. And they've got powers and they fight bad guys.
Yes.
Done. Sign me up. Where's it? Give me a ticket. But this is like, there are people who are peculiar. You don't really know how they become peculiar, why they're peculiar.
Like a genetic deformity thing.
And if you're peculiar, there are other peculiar people who turn into birds who are women, and they're all women, and they all turn into birds. She's not just the only one. And they control time, so if you're peculiar, you have to live in a Groundhog Day-esque time loop for some reason.
To stop the baddies, I think.
And then there are baddies who are also peculiar, but you get the sense that this time loop thing's been going for a long time, but then the bad guys did an experiment, and now they want to eat the eyes of the peculiar people, and they've got monsters.
Yeah, well, they are the monsters. They do the experiment, they turn into the monsters, and then they're like, oh my god, being these monsters absolutely sucks ass, so we have to eat the eyeballs of the young children to make us, like, human again.
So it's like 10 problems, which it just seemed like a hat upon a hat upon a hat upon a hat. Like,
yes.
why is that a thing? And the problem is that it's very slow to get going, in my opinion. The characters are... Our gateway character, like, what's his face? Asa
Butterfield.
Is very bland. His family is very bland. Like, his dad is Chris O'Dowd.
Yes.
Who is just there to cockblock everything. Just be like a deadbeat... Not a deadbeat dad, but a uninvolved, unengaged dad who's the one that's just basically going, why don't you stop doing all this silly stuff, you silly dickhead?
Stop being sad.
Stop, yeah. Go and play football,
Yeah.
basically. So, they're bland. And then the kids are no personalities either. They're just one-note quirks. It's like, oh, this kid's got bees inside him.
Yeah. You don't know anything else about him.
And this kid's invisible, but you don't know anything about that one. He's got a slight... He likes to be in the nud.
Yeah. Literally the biggest character development in the whole thing was the kid that... You see it in the trailer, with the kid that projects movies through his eyes. He likes fashion.
I thought that was his peculiarity at first. I thought, yeah, this is just a peculiar kid.
Yeah. He's just really into coats.
This kid's just a little bit odd. Like, that was one of those kids, like, you just see his face and he looks like he's 45.
Yes.
You know, that's a weird kid. Because then there's that, like, you see again in the trailer, and you see most of the big things in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, the little girl that's got the mouth in the back of her head. Is that explained? Do we know anything else about her, having seen the movie?
That was it.
She's got a mouth. So where do you become peculiar? Like, what if you're born with 5 toes?
Well, like
6 toes.
Webbed toes.
5 toes is probably...
toes is pretty
I
normal.
meant 5 toes in total, of course.
Oh, between 2 feet?
Well, on your hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You've got 5 toes on your hands.
Would it have to be that you had more than normal? Because if you had an accident and cut off some of your toes, does that make you peculiar?
Do you have to go live in the time loop?
Yeah.
So many questions. Yeah. And then Miss Peregrine comes in. Eva Green. And she's just such an affected Tim Burton character.
Yeah, she's the character that, like, if he and Helena Bonham Carter was still married, she would have been playing that.
And you think she's playing it like she's in a different movie. And the other problem with this character, and it's a similar thing that can come up with a fair bit of Burton's recent work, where characters are so affected, is that it's impossible to imagine life for this character. Like, it's the same with his Sweeney Todds and all that sort of stuff. It's like, how do you picture this character waking up in the morning and do they, like, spend ages getting their hair like that? And, you know, how does this character exist? They can't have a life beyond those brief moments we see on the screen. So that's just really not engaging at all. And I thought the whole movie would be really affected in that sense, because I think that sort of affectation is something that spills into even his films like Big Eyes. But no, not really. Some of it was actually really blandly sort of ordinarily shot, which surprised me.
Yeah, I actually read a review, a sort of review. It was more of a warning to people who were thinking of taking their very young children to this movie, just sort of saying that, well, there's some kind of fucked up stuff that happens in this movie. And so I was sort of going oh, okay, this is going to be a lot creepier than I thought. And it wasn't really. It did mention at the start of the film, there's a character that loses their eyes, and I was like, oh god, that's going to be so fucked up. You didn't even really know.
No.
Like, I didn't look at that and go, oh my god, his eyes are gone. It was like, oh, okay.
But those monsters could really almost just as easily be the monster of any like Blumhouse kind of horror film. Like, you know, I know you're predisposed to being like, oh, I don't like horror movies, they're going to fuck me up. But most of them are just like that. Like, you know, there's just some CGI sort of creature running around. So, yeah.
But with more jump scares.
Yeah, possibly. So, yeah, I don't know. And I think as well that there's just far too much talking about all these things and very little action.
And there's a lot of, like, you know, oh, I don't really know what's going on. Oh, we can't tell you what's going on. That goes on for like an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, mate, just tell him what's going on and let's get started. Like, let's have something happen.
There are very few action set pieces in this thing, and the ones that are there are quite good.
Yeah, the sequence that's in the trailer with them getting the ship going and the ship breaching, and like that actually looked really cool, and I did enjoy that. And there's another one which we obviously won't talk about too much. There's one on a pier that
it's probably the only scene that you don't see in the trailer.
Yeah,
and that's quite interesting.
Very good, yeah.
But yeah, so there were moments where I was like, I'm interested. There were moments where I was like, I don't know what's happening, so I want to know more. And you can see those little flourishes where you go, oh, maybe this is why Burton wanted to do this thing. But otherwise, it just felt like, you know, let's just make a movie for the status quo. Like, let's mine YA books and see what we can do. It was hard to see the passion in it for me. So yeah, not massively satisfying. I thought that that female young lead, who is 20, was quite interesting, and she's got such huge eyes that at first I thought they had CGI'd them bigger because, you know, to is it like maybe a peculiarity? But no, I think it's the real deal. And then you think, God, like, considering he made a movie called Big Eyes, there's some fetish stuff happening there, I reckon.
He's developing something, yeah.
I think, yeah. Well, I think expressing something rather than developing something. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. It's why I get really turned off the whole YA novel stuff. And I'm not a YA person, so, you know, it's not aimed at me. All the sort of tropes and things I fear and the character writing and everything is really evident in this film. Like, there's no real... Maybe like a couple of little snippets, but not a lot of magic in it. It's not even like I don't love the Harry Potter movies at all. I'm not of that age, but I've got to admit that journey of sucking you into that world and channeling you through that world and leading you into the various layers of things.
The idea of unlocking little sections of his life and,
is actually quite successful. That sort of wonder of getting the call and going into this new place and discovering this new place and sort of leveling up as you go through.
Yeah,
and then,
I wouldn't say I was a massive Harry Potter fan either, but I really enjoyed maybe the first 3 or so when you were really discovering how this world was working and all these experiencing all these new things. The last couple I wasn't that fussed on. No,
because it got up its own arse like a fair bit as well. I think it becomes, it's like the Potter franchise is a snowball that collects characters and threads and problems and angst, and by the end of it, it is so overburdened with its own importance. That,
I want more Triwizard Tournament, less Chosen One.
Yeah, when you're watching the film, that last film, it's like, that because they split it into 2 parts as well, it's just assuming that you think it's incredibly important. And I think for those people who it's their Star Wars, it was. And they felt it. But if you were outside of that, it was very difficult to go... You know, it's a movie that sets up and says, you care about this. And you go, well, I don't know if I do. And I think that's relevant in this discussion because this has all that gubbins, it has all that lore. It's like, I need you to hook me with a really great character before... Like, don't just start loading me with all the mythos, which is what the grandfather does really early on. It's because I don't give a shit about that yet. I don't have that way in. And it's funny when you look back at those really simple formulas for kids' movies in the past, in the 80s and things. And I know there's a lot of, like, glorifying that stuff, but Stranger Things was able to do that very successfully. Whether it's E.T., where you have that great scene of them playing Dungeons and Dragons at the beginning, and you just suddenly, all those kids feel real, and you get to know the characters, and there's banter, and it works. Or Goonies, when all the kids come to the house, and just the banter they have, and the way they talk, and you have really distinct personalities. And then Stranger Things steals from both of those and does a D&D scene with all these kids and their personalities, and it's just brilliant. Like, you go, oh, I'm instantly engaged. I'm enjoying watching these interactions. And then the whole fantasy element that comes on top of that is just a bonus. Whereas this puts the fantasy first and goes, you're going to be so invested in my gubbins story about women that turn into birds and time loops and stuff, that it never gives you a character. I don't know if it's about, well, no, but it's supposed to be just an ordinary kid, but it feels like, I don't know, like the ordinary kid that someone's mum would write about. You know what I mean? Like,
to make their own ordinary kid feel better.
Oh, there's just nothing to this kid, which is a real shame. So I feel like I'm talking myself out of the movie now. We're sort of I mean, I did have moments of engagement. I did have moments where I was like, oh, yeah, this is, like, really kind of interesting.
Yeah, for most of it, I was sitting there going, ugh, this dialogue is super cheesy, and Asa Butterfield is not doing the kind of work that I expect from Asa Butterfield. He's just really kind of wide-eyed sleepwalking through this thing, but yeah, it did kind of in some ways pick up a little bit towards the end. There were a couple of those set pieces I did kind of enjoy. Samuel L. Jackson looked like he was having a pretty good time hamming it up.
Having too good a time at points.
He was having a way better time than anybody else on that movie.
There were a couple of bits there which really feel like Samuel L. Jackson suggested them. And I find that a lot with his films, and I think you can kind of pick them. That kind of, oh yeah, I'll come and do your movie, but I'm going to come and play. Like when he says boo,
yeah.
in that point, you're like, this is Jackson just, you know, and he's not a spring chicken anymore. He looked cool though, I thought.
He did look cool.
Yeah.
He has, like, his character has these crazy teeth, and he was like, I don't know if they were like CGI'd in later, but he was talking pretty well with them in. I was like, well done, you.
This is such a weird nitpick thing to say. It's not really a nitpick, it's an observation. I thought Eva Green, when she was talking, when we first got the character, I don't know if it was a weird, like... sync thing or something, but her mouth just seemed to be doing all sorts of weird things. I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, it felt like in some scenes almost that it had been dubbed later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was weird.
And she has to talk quite fast and get a lot of information across early on, and it just really didn't feel like it was matching. It was strange. Yeah. It's like she had a mouthful of marbles or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, that was that.
Can't recommend it at the cinema, but if...
It's Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix one. Like...
Netflix if you're curious.
Yeah, aesthetically it wasn't bad. I did like... the way it looked. I just didn't like the journey that it took me on. Yeah,
if you haven't been curious, then just skip it altogether. If you've been going, oh, I'm kind of curious about that, then yeah, watch it later. That would be my thing. So there you go. TV was really the big thing. So by now, everybody who's wanted to has had a shot at watching Marvel's new Netflix series, Luke Cage. Do you want to open on this one?
Not really, no.
You didn't get as far as I did. I've watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I was really excited for Luke Cage, and I was really looking forward to it, but I got halfway through episode 4 and I went, I can't do this anymore. I didn't even get to the end of the episode. I just gave up halfway through. I know that Marvel Netflix series are long game and you have to get 3/4 of the way through before anything starts happening, but it was just at that point where I was like, I'm not feeling engaged by any of this, anything that's happening, none of these characters. The character motivations just seem to be skipping around everywhere, and I know that this obviously would have changed later on. I know there is another character that sort of changes this up, but like I'm looking at this character who is an invincible steamroller with no kind of personal ties, and I'm just sort of didn't feel like there was any real peril or stakes that made me interested in that character. And as I said, I know that stuff happens later. I wasn't shielding myself from spoilers at all because I wasn't really expecting that I would go back to it. And it just didn't grab me. I did love the music and all that sort of side of things was amazing, but then people have made Spotify playlists with all the music and I can just listen to that.
I enjoyed it more. I watched it all. I watched all 13 episodes. I would say that it has the typical Netflix Marvel issues, which the 13 episodes is just too much.
Yeah.
Like, it can't sustain it for that long. It could if they were going to be like, here's a storyline that runs 3 episodes and then everything sort of refreshes and here's a storyline that runs, but because it is like one big movie, it's really just too long. And I think the first half's actually stronger than the second half, in my opinion. I think when that extra character comes along, and you're kind of looking forward to it because you think it's going to
change
things up a lot, and I don't think it does nearly enough. I actually think it's not as satisfying as the sort of factions and what was in play in the first half. I enjoyed the kind of banter and the sort of feel of it. It was really odd because when you see that barbershop at the beginning, I thought it was set in the 70s and I was waiting to see like a young Luke Cage, and then they start talking about Instagram and stuff and I'm like, oh, this is now? Like, it was really weird. So not incredibly relatable because of that. But interesting you say episode 4. Episode 4 is the flashback episode, which goes through his origins, and
that's the point where I was thinking, if I'm not interested in his origins, like, I need to just stop now, like, because that's the bit that should have hooked me in.
It actually has one of my favourite moments, and I don't know if you got to it. We might have to talk about it after, but there are some really wonderful nods to the 70s original Luke Cage in that episode, like some visuals that I never thought we would see in the Netflix series, and I really loved that. I really loved that they played around with that and explored that. But the thing is, unless you're like a reasonably hardcore Marvel person, it's going to go over the heads of a lot of people. But I thought, I like the sort of playfulness there. I don't know. I really didn't get along well with Daredevil Season 2. I struggled with that, and I think this was... It's hard to say if it was probably better, because they all have different strengths, you know, like I enjoyed the Punisher to an extent in the last one, but then I really didn't like Elektra in this one. I do like Luke Cage, but I think you're 100% right about this sort of Superman syndrome of him being so invulnerable. I think it takes about 7 hours for him to get hurt. And then he, you know...
Yeah, I mean, I don't
plays
mind...
around with that for about 3 hours, and then he's back to business.
Yeah, and, like, I don't mind the invulnerable thing, but that's the thing with Superman. Like, he had attachments that could be targeted. You know, Luke doesn't have any.
What interested me about it, and it does touch on these kind of issues a little bit, not as much as I think it could have, but you're talking about a country and a climate and a sort of subset of a country, so fictionalized and sort of exaggerated and everything, but something where guns are really a thing, and guns are the sort of issue right from the beginning. This idea of
people having lots of guns and being a bad thing.
So and you've got a country which is has a vocal part of it which is so pro guns, and you see that how that feeling of power really stems from that. But it's such a false feeling of power, because the person doesn't really have any power. The fact that you have a safe in your house which is full of things where you have the ability to kill someone by pressing a fucking button doesn't make you a powerful person. So what happens when you have like this strong black man who is impervious to bullets? Like, your way of solving problems in that environment, and not just for like for police even in this whole like Black Lives Matter thing, if your solution to all these problems has always been pressing a button on your trusty gun, and that's not going to work on this guy, he's just going to keep walking through it, then suddenly you realize we're not good at solving these problems. If that's all we've relied upon is our ability to shoot each other, and this guy can't be shot, then what the fuck do we do? Like, we might actually have to listen to what he says. And that's the interesting thing for me. I think that's the hook, and I would have liked to have seen that explored even further, because you look in this climate and you think a strong black man who cannot be shot must be terrifying to the police.
Yeah, and I mean, that's another reason I kind of really wanted to like Luke Cage, is that I really appreciate that idea of the hero being a bulletproof black man in a hoodie is such a huge thing at the moment, because of every day you're seeing men, particularly of colour, being shot by police for random crazy things. And I think, in this climate it's important to have Luke Cage. And I did see another movie reviewer that was watching Luke Cage and making the same sort of comments as you, that he just wished that idea had been looked at or explored more, and people were just like, "Whoa, how would you do it?" Just getting really defensive about it, and it's like, but that's a valid thing.
It is, and
you can't to give us this hero who is important, but then not really say much else important with him.
And it can be done. Orange is the New Black, that last season, played around with the Black Lives Matter, and it was brilliant, and it was...
Devastating, but...
But it was such an interesting thing, and it made it so much more meaningful. So, yeah, I'd like to see that, because, I mean, fuck, you just imagine, what if everyone was bulletproof? Imagine you had to find a different solution to, we're going to load up on our guns, and we're going to have this and that, It just goes to show that a lot of these people that sort of hide behind those things, they're not effective communicators or problem solvers or anything like that. And when you can't just hide behind that fucking macho posturing, look how powerful we are because we've got this fucking thing.
It was funny. There was actually a news story this week because a person was shot in WA by the police, and it was a huge deal. It was up north. A guy got out of a taxi, started threatening the taxi driver with a knife, and then came at police with a knife, and so they shot him in a non-lethal area, and it was on the news, and they had to bring the guy down to Perth and treat him, and it was such a fucking massive thing that one person was shot, because it doesn't happen ever, kind of thing, and it's just that's a stark contrast. Yeah. Just, I don't see that idea that it's this, I don't know, there's so much that I read these sort of angry rants about people who talk about the pussification of the world and how, and you think the sorts of things that you think define masculinity or power or are such, to me, they're the really pussy things. Ridiculous to hide behind that sort of stuff. It was actually really, really nice this week. There was a whole bunch of pictures going around because the AFL Grand Final was last week, and an underdog team won it, and they're a team of very, close mates. It's not like other teams where there's the big high-powered paid star and, sort of his underlings kind of thing. They're all very close. And at the presentation ceremonies, there was a lot of pictures of the players, kissing each other, kissing each other and cheek, hugging each other a lot, and people were going, oh wow, this is really important, because they're showing these highly respected, idolized athletes bonding with other men in a way that 30 years ago they would have gone, oh, that's a bit gay. And it's going, well, no, this is normal, this is how you should relate to other people, and it's front pages of the paper and all over the internet, and it was great, and people were celebrating that.
I don't know. I think, we should abuse each other and threaten to kill each other more.
Well, it's working for Trump.
Oh, God. Yeah. Man, if that happens, it's
shut it down. Shut everything down.
I just don't even know what to think. Just the amount of, if you see, where that Save the Day Joss Whedon video was posted, for example, and on YouTube it's got something 140,000 likes and 90,000 dislikes, and the people that come out and their rationalizations for Trump and just in talkbacks and stuff. This great one where someone was people who have had the political experience in the past haven't done so well, so I want someone that hasn't got any political experience, and let's see how they do for a change.
Bad.
Someone's if you ever need heart surgery or something, why don't you apply the same logic to that?
Exactly. Did you hear the other day that he said, basically, if you're terminally ill, hang on just so you can vote for me? That, what the fuck? How can you justify that? But then people are going, oh, but Hillary's done bad things too. And it's not that fucking bad.
That's the thing. I watched so much Apprentice in the past over the years, and just I've always found him repugnant and always found him to be so dumb. Just this really sort of buffoonish figure, which is fun to watch in a train wreck kind of way. In the same way you'd watch Jerry Springer or something like that. So just the idea that he could be the president is just so off the rails to me. It's insane. But, you know, you reap what you sow. They're going to get what they earned and enjoy it one way or the other.
Canada's going to get a whole lot of new immigrations, I think.
Yeah, maybe. And Westworld, which I think HBO is really sort of pushing as their next Game of Thrones. It's got the Sunday night slot. It's got some huge names in it, like Anthony Hopkins and Ed Harris. And it's got boobs, it's got gore, and it's got an amazing opening sequence.
Oh my god, so beautiful.
And it's a fucking great show.
It's pretty fucking good.
It's really good.
Yeah. I didn't really know what to expect. I haven't seen the original. It's Yul Brynner as well, isn't it? The original movie? Yeah. Had never seen that. Didn't really know what it was about. I actually thought it was like a virtual reality kind of thing that people go into. So I was a bit confused to start off with because it wasn't kind of working with the vision that I had in my head. But it's cool. It is really fucking cool.
Yeah, basically a Wild West amusement park for the very rich where everyone
hyper-real robots
interact with the robots. Yeah, you don't know they're robots. And it's got this very dark thing because you can, you know, you're paying the money, you can do what you want. So if you want to go and kill everyone and rape everyone, which some of the characters are quite keen on doing, then off you go. So, yeah, Michael Crichton was the original creator of this thing. So here's a man who's incredibly afraid and suspicious of theme parks in general.
Yeah.
And... yeah, it is just packed with so much promise. Really, just
so many interesting ideas to be mined later on,
and some beautiful performances, and very sort of unapologetic and unflinching, and really just stuck with me after I watched it. I've thought about it a lot, and I keep thinking, oh, I'm looking forward to...
yeah, we get another one of those.
Monday, yeah. So...
yeah. I was saying to you that it almost felt like an episode of Black Mirror or something, like almost a contained episode by itself. So it's so exciting that you get to watch the continuation of that story.
Watch it develop.
Yeah.
And especially where it leaves off a lot of potential. So, yeah, that's a huge recommend. That's the big recommend for the week. You know, if you're getting frustrated with Luke Cage, and I know people have sort of stopped or floundered or whatever, definitely refresh with Westworld if you're able to access it, because it is stunning.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would probably be open to doing a fuck yeah Westworld if people were interested.
I keep wanting to say more than, oh, it's really good, but then I don't want to spoil anything.
Spoil things,
so,
one thing that's not a spoiler, we get the third Hemo. The third Hemo comes out of the woods.
Yeah. Which one was he?
Luke Hemsworth is he's like one of the sort of maintenance guy, kind of. If you saw the picture of him, you'd know who I mean, but I can't sort of describe him too much without giving away plot points.
Speaking of maintenance guys, like, holy crap, I think no matter what this park costs, what a bargain, because really, you can just go in and destroy everything.
Yeah, and then somebody has to go and fix that.
Yes, go and fix it.
Yeah.
And you think, these robots are just getting banged all the time. Like, there's got to be someone's job, and I can't wait for the Funny or Die web series, which is about the crew members behind the scenes that have to clean all the fluids out of these robots. I don't know if they, like, completely replace those parts, or if there's, like, a clothesline with all these
well, maybe they're self-cleaning. Maybe they're like, what's the Marvel guy with the waste disposal system?
Like Kang.
Yeah. Maybe they've just got, like a jizz pocket.
Maybe.
And they pull out the jizz pocket at the end of the day.
There could be a Westworld DK style book, which has all the annotations on the robot. It's a jizz pocket.
Yep.
We're in the jizz pocket room.
They just pour it all into a trough.
Into a trough, yeah. It all gets recycled back into the 3D printer that prints out those horses. That's why they're all white.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Just full of protein.
Yeah, because you think, like, you know, if Disneyland had such liberal policies, you know, it's hard to... Because, like, one guest could just go, fuck you, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Set it on fire, torch it. They got their money's worth.
I feel like Frog's Legs today. Rip.
What about everybody else? Yeah, and what if you're like, oh, hello, Princess Jasmine. I'm going to take you into the dark tunnels of a small world. And I mean, it's pretty horrifying.
Let's go down the alleyways of Agrabah.
Ed Harris running around, terrorizing Goofy. I think it's frightening when you think, if this sort of thing happens. But, so I think their costs just must be crazy, because it's not just robots, it's everything from buildings to horses to glassware to furniture. It all goes.
Absolutely. And but it would be they hint at the the general expense, but they don't put any numbers on it. But there is a family that brings their kid. Like, it doesn't really seem like a particularly kid friendly sort of
Not everything that's going on is very kid friendly at all. I think that maybe we'll learn more as it goes, but everything must get sort of mulched into that sort of 3D printing-y style paste. I reckon everything's made out of that. So at the end, you put all the wreckage in a grinder and it comes out into paste, and you just print out more.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, why not? There you go, solved it.
Streamlining their process.
Absolutely. So, definitely recommend that. And I did, as a bit of a chaser, as a bit of a palate cleanser, I watched the 1973 Westworld film, a lot of men in turtlenecks. And that was quite interesting. I do recommend that if you get into the series, watch the film. It's quite funny in a lot of ways, because it's quite camp. But, definite inspiration for Terminator. You know, when you just sort of see something and you go, oh God, like, that's where all this stuff came from.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Yul Brynner is the Terminator in it, even down to, like, exposed metal-y face and relentless silent walking and pursuing. Yeah, like, you can see young James Cameron going, oh shit, this is good. Something. But the other interesting thing, and I wonder if the TV show will end up doing this, I think certainly if it's popular, you've got a lot of room for spin-offs, is in the movie, there's actually 3 parks which are connected.
Oh, okay.
And you can choose. So there's also a Roman world where you can go and have crazy orgies and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And there's also a medieval world.
Ah, okay.
And Yul Brynner does end up pursuing across those worlds. So
that's cool.
It does go into the other areas. So,
there's just like infinite potential for spin-offs.
Yeah, when you just suddenly go, oh, now we're all leaking into Roman world.
Especially once Game of Thrones finishes. Like, they've got all the costumes. Like, fuck it.
You think how Fear the Walking Dead or something is a spin-off of going, oh, well, here's another group of survivors. It's like, well, did you know that there's another park just around the corner? It's like Jurassic Park when they're like, oh, there was another island.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Yeah, it's just crazy. So who knows what could happen there? I think it's absolutely fabulous. It's wonderful. So, unless it's like real theme parks where you sort of go, oh shit, we're being chased by the crazy homicidal robots. Quick, get on the monorail. We'll go to the next world. And it's like Shrek World. And you're like, oh...
It's full of half donkey, half dragons.
This donkey, I'm on my last fucking nerve with this donkey guy. It's driving me crazy. But yeah. And I guess you would have a choice of having sex with, like, Fiona as an ogre or, like, regular Fiona.
Yeah, okay.
Because even in the 70s one, they're like, the guys have got these big porn stashes and, like, crazy hair and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're having fun in Westworld. And then they're like, there's a robbery at the saloon. And they're like, well, a robbery at the bank. And one of the guys is like, oh, that could be fun to go and thwart that robbery. And the other guy's like, yeah, we can have fun fucking these robots. And they choose to fuck the robots instead. And off they go. And...
well, it reboots every day. They can save the bank tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Storylines. So, yeah. Yeah. Look, so if you're a fan of robots being fucked, then definitely watch Westworld, because it's got some of the best robot banging I think I've seen in a while. And the nudity's fine because they're robots. Yeah.
They're not real titties.
No, it's like looking at a power socket, I assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The ones with little shocked faces.
Yeah.
Like, the American ones that have like the little mouth. Oh.
Yeah. Westworld, plug in. Anyway, I think that's probably... Oh, you know what? I did what? If you indulge me for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I did want to do...
one this week.
I want to do a MasterChef update. because there were
okay.
some, people commenting on that.
Yep.
I did the true investigative journalism thing and had a little look at MasterChef around the world.
Okay.
So I bagged it about the American dream and the, all that sort of stuff and this propaganda machine. I watched the Singapore one. No American dream, obviously, but still, what is your dream? What is your food dream? And talking about families. And it's the exact same format. And the Australian one as well. Dream. What is your dream? What is your... And, my dream's to, have a van that sells chicken rolls and Dagwood dogs down at the Royal Show. But it's still, it's that huge, like, this is really important. Everything we're doing is really important. So I assume we're blaming Gordon Ramsay for all of this, for this sort of setup. But it's a format that's shopped around. It's the American dream. Speaking of which, Shark Tank has started again, the American one. I counted the American dream said by 6 different people in the first, I think, 10 minutes.
Like the people wanting the money?
Well, no, but like
people?
everybody, because also
okay.
the people that are doing it. In fact, you know what? What is the American dream? Like, that's the thing, because I would have thought the American dream was kind of like a 50s thing.
Yeah, maybe. Is it like a post-World War II sort of, I don't know, building back up and chasing the American dream?
Here we go. The ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to any American, allowing the highest aspirations and goals to be achieved. So why call it something like a dream? That's what I don't understand.
Because the dream is something unattainable, right?
But like in Shark Tank or whatever, they go, oh, so my product, the Scrubby Buddy or whatever, is just, it's selling a stack. Like, we're doing so well. We're really reaching our American dream, and it's a real positive thing. And they're showing in the shots behind, like, a factory full of just tables and tables and tables of people making the Scrubby Buddy for $3 an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like... Well,
that's the thing. The American dream is attainable as long as you have a certain level of wealth already.
Well, no, the American dream is like any one of those 300 people making Scrubby Buddies.
Could just work a bit harder and get to the point where this person was already born into.
But the problem is none of these things work. None of those dreams work unless those other 300 people don't have their dream. It's not even 1%. It's less than the 1%. Because it just doesn't work. That's why I'm a commie.
Okay.
That's why I've got reds under my bed. Yeah.
Okay.
3 of them. Yeah. 3 reds. But then, like, the little cap off to my journey around the globe is the UK one. Do you think it all started in the UK? This one's got to be, crazy. And it's like season...
The British dream is just to conquer other countries, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they live that all the time.
Yeah.
So season 12 or something starts up, doesn't have any of that stuff, and it's just like, have you got some contestants here? Hey everyone, isn't it great to be in the kitchen? Yeah, why are you here? Oh, I just thought, I'll give it a go. Great, what are you cooking? And that's it.
Spag bowl.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, but it doesn't work. Like, when you take away all that theatre, it's like, oh, this is bullshit, I'm not watching this. So, all that bullshit, theatre, nonsense, epicness. There's actually, I've got a friend who has a flatmate who was on MasterChef Australia, and I might look into whether we can have a chat, because I've got a lot of questions. Because even just the fact that so much of it is built up by that big orchestral score that's going all the time. Like, this is really important. You think, that's not happening while they're in there. So when someone says one of these ludicrous, hammy, cheesy, inspirational things without that music, like, what's it like in there? What's the vibe?
Yeah, the thing that I've always wanted with shows like that, because I know with a lot of them, particularly like the home reno shows and shows like this, they'll shoot both endings. So, like, if you get to the finale and there's 2 people left, they will shoot both of them winning, right? And then they'll air the one that actually wins in the end. Like, these people aren't actors. How do they just get them to cry?
I think
You know what I mean? Like, that's something that's always seemed a bit bizarre to me, like, to be that kind of convincing and then go, we're a rap, and then we're going to do it the other way now.
I believe this contestant cried. and is feeling like, oh, that's something I would never do, but just was because they were put through that machine that they push it out of you. I feel like, certainly when you look at the winners, and this goes for any of those reality shows, there's very much a grooming process that happens throughout. They're looking, certainly not just for the best cook, they're looking for that person that can be a personality and have enough charisma to kind of pull that out, because I've seen stuff where they just get rid of someone so arbitrarily and it's personality based. It's like, this person's not going any further, they're not going to be the one that we can deal with and manage, and more importantly the public is going to go, this person has enough charisma that we're into this and we're going to get behind them.
It's been a bit like that with I don't watch The Bachelor because I'm a bit like, watching women compete for some boring fuckhead is just not my cup of tea. However, The Bachelorette, where a whole bunch of douchebags compete for the affections of a very nice girl. She seems lovely. And because I've watched all of the first 2 seasons of Unreal, which is like that fake kind of Bachelor behind the scenes sort of thing. And so I'm watching it a little bit differently, and I'm looking at these personalities and going, the ones that they've chopped off are the ones with very little personality, or the ones they're not showing as much. So they're the ones that were already sort of, I guess, a bit pre-scripted to get the arse. And there's one guy who is my favourite. Like, he's not compatible with this girl at all, and I don't think either of them particularly like each other that much, but I do get the feeling that the producers are going, keep picking Sam, keep picking Sam, keep picking Sam, because he's funny, and they do the little grab things, and he is just so bitchy and gives so much shade on the others, and he's got this rivalry with this other guy. Like, he doesn't give a shit about Georgia, really, but he just wants to beat this other guy. He just wants to be better than this other guy. And this week they are setting up basically a showdown between the two of them. They're doing some task, and one of them, whoever wins it, will go through, and the other one gets immediately eliminated. And I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. Like, they don't, like, it doesn't even matter if she is there or not. Like, they are driving this whole other thing around her.
The 2 of the seasons of American MasterChef I watched pulled us along. Just a ludicrous character, like someone that was no way they were going to win, but they got into the top 10, and they seem to cull them about 8 when it starts to get sort of more serious, but someone that was just useless, but they always found a way to keep them in because it's entertaining. I think it's fascinating. I'd love to even be a producer on something like that, as ethically weird as it is, because when you are watching these interviews, when you are watching the reactions, when you hear because a lot of the time when you're watching something, you think, oh, everybody's like so bitchy. Like, here they're going, Ink Master or anything, they're going, oh, this person did a really bad job, or I think their tattoo was awful. And you think, why would you say that? But of course, someone's prodding you to go, what did you think of this? And they might have asked 50 questions to get that snippet that they wanted.
And they might have really said, well, I didn't think it was that bad, but then they did this, and they might be going, well, what could they have done better, though? Like, what were if you had 3 criticisms, what would it, they can ask whatever, and then, it sounds like you're just piping up and going, I thought that was terrible. Yeah.
Which reminded me, man, when I was watching this documentary and it had some Jerry Springer, I'm talking about documentaries at a later show, but had Jerry Springer on, I've forgotten what that audience was like with their questions. It's hilarious. Like, it made me want to go back and watch Jerry Springer, because it's basically like no Q&A that exists today. It's like someone standing up going, hi, I think your wife is a big fat bitch, and then everybody cheering. And it's like, wow. And half of the audience questions, at least, are like that. Someone will stand up and go, where's your teeth? You're so ugly. And then the person will go, ooh, and try and like fight them and stuff.
And then the big security guard will hold them back.
It's just great. Absolutely great. Greatest country in the world. I've always said that. I think that's the show. That's quite a lot of show.
It is. It's a hell of a lot of show.
It's a hell of a lot of show for 2 little ears. 2 little pink fleshy seashells belonging on our darling listeners' head. Thanks for listening, listener. That's what you do.
That's your job.
That's your role, assigned role. Our assigned role is to talk to you. We had another review, actually. We had a review from Resident Lily, who I didn't realise even was listening to the show, to be
fantastic.
honest. I'm not going to, talk about who he is. He is somebody I know, but he's just such a great dude. He's like one of the best. So the fact that, and also a very busy dude. So the fact that you listen, man, and you took the time to do a review is awesome. Really appreciate that. Yeah, he's very, very good people. So someone that I've admired for a long time. So thank you very much. And if any of you other yo-yos want to do that, you can. Just it's easy. He did it. He's busier than you are. So get onto iTunes and rate review. I said you don't even have to write a proper review. You can write what you think about Wertho and potatoes.
Yes. How many stars are you rating Wertho? 5, obviously, because why would you rate Wertho anything less?
That is true. And
thank you, Ian, for bringing up Hacksaw Ridge. Yes, we are aware of it, and we'll be watching it at a later date. Yes.
Must we?
Yes!
Okay.
Oh my god! Yes, it's Wertho! He's going to probably shoot some fucks in the face. How can we not?
And on fruitlesspursuits.com, you'll also find links to our Facebook page. That's where we discuss all these things. And you can give us the heads up about stories and things that are going on that you think we should talk about.
Wertho movies that you think that maybe we missed.
All that fun stuff.
We don't miss any Wertho movies. I have been checking the Googles every day to see if there is any Wertho Bingo Baby news.
Baby dropping.
It's got to be soon. Like, to be fair, they don't owe us anything and they're probably not going to announce the birth the second it happens.
Don't be fair.
However, I think they need to let us know.
Yeah, I reckon we might find out about it like a week or two later.
Yeah.
But
it'll be in, Woman's Day, New Idea, Trash Mags.
Hope so.
But I'm hoping to jump on it as soon as possible and let our dedicated listeners know the important news.
Wertho, Baby Watch, we're on it.
Yeah.
We're not even going to sleep until it happens, to be honest. We're getting to that time.
I'm just sitting there, just hitting refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. That's the
it.
end. Camera.
Camera.